right here off of Route 11, heading into the outskirts of VMI. In Lexington, you have Duke's Antiques. Very popular antique store, 20,000 square feet, over 200 dealers. We're going to go check that out right now. So there'll be antiques and more, according to the rock signage here. And they are open according to the other little sign. This is right on the corner of the building as you're approaching the entrance. I wanted to pull over and kind of capture that. Let's go check it out. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. As you pull into this long entryway, driveway right off of this, I believe that's Route 11. I keep saying Route 11. I really hope it is. And we have a gargoyle in a boat. We have a gorilla here on a riding lawnmower. And a salute to our troops here with the wolf. If you like random antiques that are just everywhere, this is your place. Duke's Antiques. Stand by. And some of these statues here that are, I mean, there's lights on these guys. You come here at night, you'll be able to see this place will be all lit up. As you come in the entryway, you'll be making your way up this long driveway, and then all the goods of anything your mind can imagine. This world of random antiques and discarded items, things that may be important to you, things that may not, things that spark the imagination, items of nostalgia, things that may give good memories of your childhood, or some things you just shake your head at, and I guess you can consider art. Duke's Antique Shop. Just something about this place. If it was in Chesapeake, Virginia, it wouldn't be as cool, I don't think. But because it's in the mountains of Virginia and the backdrop's what it is, just, it's a must stop. It's a must stop for those who seek randomness and fun. And for the serious antiquer, maybe you're just looking for something as a keepsake or a gift. Look at the tire on that. It's like a Mad Max type of situation here going on. A phone booth. I mean, you don't see many of those around. We got stray cats roaming around out here. And they take their antiques seriously here. I mean, this is, for some, it's going to be a kind of a funny thing. For others, it's going to be serious business. Like, hey, how much for the Sasquatch? How much? That's, I don't know how much you can barter here. I bought a few postcards and things of that nature here, but never anything serious. Like, you get in here and there's some expensive antiques. There's things that are sought after. And then there's just, well, junk. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I mean, one man's trash, you know the rest of it. That's another man's treasure. Now, this kind of reminds me of Figment a little bit. You gotta give me Figment vibes. Anybody know what that is? So you sit on this thing, and is that a knife sharpener? You pedal this contraption, and this little blade right here, this stone right here is a knife sharpener, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I mean, what would that be worth to you? No large bags, purses, backpacks, slingbacks, or book bags. Don't think about it. No price tags, folks. Sorry. You're going to have to ask. Inquire inside. I'm a chicken hawk, and I eat chickens. Remember that? Anybody? Reference? Is that Cool the Gator? Is that Cool the Gator? Anybody know the Cool the Gator reference? I'm going to add them to the Woo fans out there. Look at that. He's got the whole world in his hands right here. You can sit here. I'll sit down here. I'm sitting on the chair that's going to hold me here with the hands, the fingers. So you see that? I'm sitting in that chair. So I'm going to go in and we're going to check it out. Guess your weight. Remember those things? You put the coin in. This looks even earlier than that. Yeah, you put the coin in there and you weigh yourself. You have to pay for it back in the day. And who would want to do that? And here's an old scale. Every day of the year.
He basically said, no, I'm not a good idea to just leave it out. So I'm texting somebody who knows a lot about Oakwood and see if there's some kind of see where
Is this a robot? What is this? It's kind of got Edward Scissorhands type of vibe to it. His head is a spot lamp. Got some old gauges here. Oh boy.
We'll get that big dollar and the big block one. Yeah.
So I'm going to attempt to just highlight a few things. This place is so vast. There's just no way. I mean, I could do a 4-hour video. As you can see, it's a giant warehouse. I mean, anything you want. If you're a true antique person and you're in here looking for it, they've got it. They have it. Early century stuff. Every era I can think of items, knickknacks, bric-a-brac, whatever you want to call that. You know, I'm into this kind of thing here. I really enjoy the old glasses. Here, you know, you got, remember the Welch's? So you had the Welch's juice that came in the glasses. And then you had the characters, the Looney Tune characters. I remember that. It's 1994. Here you got, what was that guy's name? 1974. Oh, yeah. So Speedy Gonzalez. Is that Yosemite Sam? Was that his name? I think so. The price on that of $8. That's a $8 glass, and some of these are pretty vintage. There's your Santa Coke, popular emblem of the past. You got here's a 1995 Coke glass with Santa Claus there, and all types of different ones. There's a Pepsi Lou Gehrig glass back there. That's kind of neat. Oh yeah. So these are type of books that I would check out in the library. Old football player. The artwork is just so classic. Old football player books. More glasses. Things that make you think of grandma's house here. Prices are somewhat reasonable. You know, I mean, you get into some of this stuff that's sought after. It's, you know, you got $27 a glass here, things like that. All the knickknacks that you can ever imagine are here. My grandmother was very into that growing up. And prices range $20, $25 per set, $20 per set. So I'm seeing anywhere from 20 to 30, 35 on some. There's old Uncle Sam here. I don't know what this is. It's just like a arm moves here. You got like a coin thing. What's this button here? It's an old bank. You push that. I got you. So you push that button right there, and old Sammy drops the coin right there in the bank for you. That's incredible. See a price tag on that. Not for sale, right? NFS, right? I'm getting better at recognizing that. So I probably shouldn't have my hands on a lot of that stuff that's not for sale. I've never seen one of these. So this is an antique RCA Victor. Is that how you say that? Victor? Yes, Victor. And it played the old 45 albums. I don't know. This is probably 1960s. Anyway, all this is bronze. This is $50 for that. It doesn't seem like a bad deal to me. If you're into record players, it only plays the 45s. But it's got the big opening here for that type of record. So some of the younger generation, they cannot appreciate a chair like this, and I don't know why. Now, when I first met my mother-in-law, she's really into antiques. This part of the chair right here, when you're hanging out at grandma's, you know, you can just, you sleep so nice in that chair right there. And I've done it. I've experienced it. Okay, so by the way, that chair was $175. If you were wondering, if you were, now keep in mind, folks, there is so much here. I've got to glance at only the things that interest me. Apologize ahead of time. This could be a 10-part series in and of itself. And those who know this place know what I'm talking about. So bear with me on what I choose to look at. Oh, my mother-in-law, she would love it. So she's into the old magazines, you know, they got stuff that you just can't get anymore, you know. Books to learn how to sew, things like that, embroidery. You got the yellow, the purple. Some people are into the different color of the glass, depending on what you're into. Prices vary here, $30 a piece to $5 a piece. Now, I recognize these brown items, so I don't know what they call that. So that's stoneware, brown and tan. Apparently that's a thing. You see a lot of that. I've got some bowls at home that have the little lids on them. You heat up soup or something in there, and they're microwave friendly, I found. We got more Mickey items here. So year 2000 Disney glasses, $15 a piece. You got Goofy, you got Shrek here. Not too vintage, but I'm dating myself. The 90s don't feel vintage to me, but I guess they are. But you look at that. This barbershop chair designed just for kids. So you, back in the day, and this would work nowadays. This chair right here, Leslie's got her mom live feed in so she can be with
Barber chair. It looks
yeah,
like
so
for
my
kids.
mother-in-law's really into this kind of thing. But so $2,950, you can have yourself a horsey barber chair. The kids would just be glad to get their hair cut in that jewel right there. Very cool, very cool. Would you look at that beauty? Would you look at that? I'd love to know the story on the scoreboard here. We can get in a spot where we can see it here, where it came from. You know, I'm sure it's something local here. The old schoolhouse. I love that. I would hang that in my living room somehow. Got a 1985 Cabbage Patch Kid. Look at that. Huh? They were fighting over those, remember? I got a price on this thing here. Here we go. $70. $70 for the Cabbage Patch original box, 1985. I've never seen an instrument section in an antique store quite like this. This is really nice. Some of these, I'm not familiar with the guitars or anything. So we got $200 on this Orpheus 12-string guitar. Firm price there, $200 on that. Maybe you can get the leather cap for $30. It's got some old amps here, $120 for the PV E20. The Mako Piranha, $60 here. Doesn't seem like a bad price, as is, I'm sure. Marshall down here, $600. Is that what that says for that Marshall? And then the one on the bottom is also $600. These are all firm pricing. We got some electric guitars, some Urban, Vendetta. Not sure of these or significance of the brands. $225, $175. Got a Crestwood bass here for $120. That seems fair. The old Victor talking machine. 78 was a size, so this had a size 78. I guess that's a rare size. You don't see that much. Look at that. Is that the old speed controller knob there? Again, I'm just talking. If those of you that know this stuff, it still works, it says. Bear with me. This is a door here. You keep your records down there. $400. Doesn't seem too terribly bad of a price for a piece of history there. Okay, so these are milkshake machines. Is that what these are? Yeah. They have some fancy handwriting. I'm not sure what that says. It says milkshake machine of some sort. $149 a piece. I'm sure that these are sought after. Arnold brand. That is very cool. Got the cup there. Reusable. Let's give this vantage point of the vastness of this place. Hiding back here in the cut, we've got an old Coke machine. Let's see a price tag on it right away. Ice cold. It's kind of in a tight spot, so. All this seems like it's been repainted. And she would have to inquire of the price on something like that. Okay, so this is in a tight spot as well. This is labeled as a natural health machine. I don't know what year this would have been from. This is so bizarre. So you would get inside this contraption. You open these doors here, and your head would stick out of here. And I guess it's like a steamer, because you got a temperature gauge here. If you can just bear with me, there's right there. This is the natural health system. Mineral vapor bath cabinet. Unbelievable. So you would get inside of this thing, and that would be therapeutic, I believe. That's how it was marketed. This girl up here, she's grooving out in the ceiling up there. If you're into vintage furniture, this has really a Brady Bunch type of vibe to it here. Some of these dressers and things, upwards $300, $600. This would be early 70s, I'm assuming. Maybe even to late 70s. Where everything went with that like modern vibe, like smooth surfaces, all the veneers were starting to become popular. You know, you open these cabinets here, plenty of stores. Like this cabinet alone is $650. So this would have been probably a high-end piece in its day. You got your storage cabinets here, drawers. Very cool piece here. Hey, anybody remember Tab? They even sell this. My grandmother, that was her thing. She liked the Tab. It was a pink can. It tasted kind of synthetic. It was a bizarre diet soda. I probably would like it now, but as a kid, it was pretty bad. How much is that? $5. I like that glass a lot. I really do. And here all by itself is a merry-go-round horse. For about $1,900, you can own this today. Oh, that cooler is so cool. 7-Up cooler. That thing's old. That's late 70s, early 80s. I'm sure that just brings back memories. I don't know if we've ever owned one, but I like that. That's another thing I really enjoy is just vintage photographs, which these appear to be from the 50s. Some of these are earlier than that, maybe the 20s and 30s. You know, who knows who these people even are. So cool. It makes your mind think, what's the story here? What's the significance? What's going on in some of these? People look so enthused back in the early 1900s. You know, there wasn't a whole lot to be happy about. And Dorsey Freeman, if you're out there. And some of these are $4 a piece. You can have some of these. Some of these are eerie. Some of those There's a surprise baby there. I mean, I just like it. I like the vibe. I like the mystery of it all. How could someone let these go or lose track of these? Marie Freeman. Or is that Free Mall? Can't tell. It says Freeman family. If you're out there, you're looking for your pictures, they're here. Oh man, remember the Oliver North scandal? That was all over TV in the mid 80s. I don't even remember his whole story or why it was significant. I remember as a kid, it just got in the way of the things I wanted to watch on television. Okay, the postcard section. I took a deep dive in here once before. I'm not going to do it today because I'll never get out of here. Anything you can think of, any national park, Disney. I mean, here's some Disney ones right here. I mean, you get into these and you just can't stop. Next thing you know, you just spent $40 in postcards that you're going to store away and never look at again. But if you're into postcards and you want a ticky, deep, $2 unless marked otherwise, they've got them. Mike's got them over here. He's advertising his Disney and some other vintage items. But these are really cool. I enjoy the postcards a lot. They're easy to store, put aside. These are Mike's postcards. Knott and Knott's Berry Farm. A lot of the channels I follow visit that park a lot. It's $7 for that Knott's Berry Farm vintage. Has the Ghost Town as well. Tray there. Knott's Berry Farm and Ghost Town, Buena Vista, California. They got Walt Disney World, Florida. Another plate here. This one's vintage as well. Advertised for $7. Very cool. And it's for all my toy collectors here. We got a 1992 Jordan Championship figurine, $25. Here he is in his all-star gear. All these are $25. Very cool. His airness. I like this one a lot. The white. These are all $25. Here he is in the white as well. It's the 1993 commemorative series. You got old Peyton Manning up there. Figure. $50. It's kind of big. I like it. It's just a giant sailboat. I mean, you can do layaway here apparently. That's something that's not advertised much. The layaway in and of itself is vintage. Pay as you go. They'll hold it for you. You want to save up and get this antique piano a little bit at a time. They got a layaway plan for you. Oh, they got these old wooden baseball bats from the 60s. Some of these are, they're $50 a piece, firm price. So these are all from the 60s, I believe, according to the tags. So Louisville Sluggers, Adirondack. Very cool. All right, you got $35 here on this old typewriter. You really had to press those keys. I mean, you really had to get down on it. Be a typist back in those days. And this was probably from the 40s and 50s. I mean, you had to whack those keys to make the print that you needed to make on that paper. For those who learn how to type on these, if you're still alive, you have some of the strongest hands known to man. Oh yeah, oh the old rotary. The old rotary here. How much is it? $35 for the vintage phone. You plug it in and twirl away. Those who know how to still use one of these. This is a really cool old Remington 22 ammunition case. $350. It looks brand new. It doesn't look like it's been redone. Or wherever it was kept, it is mint. Now, old Humpback Bridge here. I'm pretty sure this is the same one I drove my camper through with inches to spare. Ooh, I believe it's the same one. Old Humpback Bridge. I'll have to verify that. Okay, so this is my world right here. This is like 80s toys galore. We could spend some time here. Castle Grayskull. I mean, what do you want for that? 25 bucks for... I had that. That's not a bad price. I had that as a kid. You got your Ninja Turtles here, going anywhere from $15 to $20. Power Rangers were a little bit after me. Oh man, Barbies, commemorative Barbies. And here's a not so vintage. I believe this came in a little later. This figure case, probably in the early 2000s, but that Boba Fett character is pretty cool. And some of the character, you know, some of the figurines like this, you gotta watch. The arms don't move. You know, they look cool. We get them out of the case, and it's just bomb. Here's it. Oh wow, look at that Django slave right there for 15. And some of these are incomplete pieces, but not bad prices. You've got this TIE fighter here for 40 bucks. That's pretty awesome. Oh wow, there's a 1983 Star Wars battle. What? TIE fighter. It's got some damage. 180 bucks. There's the original Dagobah playset. I had that as a kid. It's got the box. It was $13 originally. $200. And there is the OG 1978 Star Wars blaster. Pretty sure I had that. Now there we go. 1981 Slave 1 for $30. Incredibly still put together. The land speeder from the Return of the Jedi movie. $25 there for that. And then of course the original Jawa. What do you call that movie? Oh, the Sandcrawler? Is that what? Yeah, it's incomplete, it says, but man, that was something there. I remember playing with that. A $250 item. That's rare. B-Wing fighter, 60 bucks. I wasn't a B-Wing fan. I always thought that one was a little weird. So we got some... Oh yeah, what were these? Yeah, the Thundercats. Yeah, the Thundercats. They were okay. I didn't really get into the Thundercats as much as like the Transformers. I was more of a Transformers Star Wars kid. G.I. Joe here. The 1982 tank. 40 bucks. That's really neat to see after all these years. The ones with that stuff, oh, no way. The killer whale at the hovercraft. The G.I. Joe hovercraft is here. $130. I wanted that so bad. What you gonna do when you get a bologna sandwich for lunch and the whole world's coming down on you? Alf. I wasn't an Alf fan. I really didn't. I thought it was goofy. WWF for sure. These figures down here, these guys right here, 18 bucks a piece, in really good shape. Solid rubber. We got Orndorff here. We got Tito Santana, Brutus Beefcake, Greg Valentine. Classic. Got a nephew who collects those. Uh, 1984 Ecto 1. 50 bucks. That's an original Ghostbusters piece. You don't see too many of those. Okay, if you're into the classic military firearms here, cavalry guns. I don't know anything about these. U.S. Navy rifle up there. English percussion shotgun. We got an African antique spear. Loaded with weapons here. Weapons are not a problem here. Hey, everybody remember the Fonz? 10 bucks. The old Halloween mask. You couldn't breathe in those and you get all the moisture in there. The Fonz, he was hot when I was a kid. I had a Fonz doll and like the jacket. He was pretty cool to me. Yeah, Raw 26. Bloodthirsty band. If you know, you know. This is like the ultimate Roman helmet here. Legionnaire. $175 for that. A lot of potential costume, military costume items here. Okay, so this place is incredible. It's a must visit here if you're coming into Lexington. Take a look at what I ended up purchasing, just a few things. Still looking for Leslie, can't find her. Wish me luck. Again, this is a warehouse, so if you can't find it here, you probably won't find it anywhere. All right, so here's what I picked up. I couldn't pass on the tab glass. It just reminded me of my grandma so much. This postcard, I said I wasn't going to do. I took a short dive into the postcard, so this would be Rivers of America, Disneyland, more of an ode to Disney World. It's going away soon. They're going to be redoing that whole area in the next few years. I think Cars Land or whatever is going to be taking its spot. So that's a Walt Disney, Disneyland, Rivers of America postcard to add to the collection. All right, so we have to add this piece too. This was
this is the
20-year commemorative
magical years of Walt Disney World license plate.
Nice. So that would have been Walt Disney World opened in 74. Is that right? We're looking it up now. So that would have been 20 years. That would have been probably 94-ish. Do the math. Very cool.
Okay, they opened in 1971, according to...
Okay, so this would have been 91. I can tell by the colors.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Definitely 90s aqua green and the hot pink and the...
Yeah, nobody ever used it. Look, you can even see their...
The original license.
Yeah, they took the price
tag.
Maybe they bought it for somebody.
Nice score.
You know how people take the price tags off and stuff?
Very. That's going to do it from Duke's Antique Shop. Hope you enjoyed it. I really did.